sleepy night. The day was finally letting go. Not with noise, not with drama, but with a soft, tired sigh. The sun leaned low on the edge of the world, as if it had done all it could and was ready to rest. The sky slowly changed its mood, from bright blue to gentle amber, to soft rose, to deep purple, and then, without anyone announcing it, night arrived. You were standing alone on a quiet road that led away from everything familiar. No buildings, no traffic, no voices, only open land and open sky. The air felt different here, lighter, cleaner, slower. You took a breath in. It filled your chest like calm water filling a lake. You breathed out longer than you meant to, and your shoulders dropped on their own. Your face softened, your hands loosened. Above you, the first star appeared. Just one, small, gentle, patient. It didn't rush to be seen. It didn't compete with anything. It simply existed, and something inside you smiled when you saw it. You stayed still for a moment, watching, breathing, letting the world slow down to your pace. Then another star appeared, then another, then another. The sky was waking up in its own quiet way. You felt drawn forward, not pulled, not pushed, just invited. There was a narrow path in front of you, curving gently through tall grass and low hills. You began to walk, not fast, not slow, just naturally. Each step felt lighter than the last, as if the ground itself was taking some of your weight away. With every step, your thoughts became softer. Your worries lost their sharp edges. Your mind stopped running ahead and started walking with you. The night wrapped itself around your senses. The smell of earth, the sound of distant wind, the feel of cool air on your skin. Everything felt real and peaceful. You reached the top of a small hill, and from there you saw it, a wide open valley below, soft grass, dark shadows, and in the center, a quiet lake, resting like a piece of sky that had fallen to the earth. The stars above were already reflected in the water. Sky above, sky below. You stood there for a moment, just looking, just breathing, just feeling. Then you began to walk down the hill toward the lake. Your steps slowed without effort. Your body already knew this place was for resting. When you reached the edge of the water, you sat down on the cool ground, not carefully, not stiffly, just comfortably. Your legs folded, your back straightened on its own. Your hands rested where they wanted to. You looked at the lake. The stars didn't move. The water didn't ripple. Everything was still. And for the first time in a long time, you felt still too. Something inside you opened, not like a door, but like a window, a quiet space where air could move freely again. Thoughts came, but gently. Memories appeared, but without pain. Nothing demanded answers here. Nothing needed fixing. Nothing asked you to be anything other than what you already were. A human being sitting under an endless sky, breathing, existing, resting. You closed your eyes for a moment and listened, not for sound, but for silence. And you found it, not empty, not lonely, but full, full of peace, full of space, full of quiet life. When you opened your eyes again, the stars felt closer, not physically, but emotionally, as if they recognized you, as if they remembered you. One star in particular seemed brighter than the rest, not sharp, not loud, just warm, present. You focused on it, and your breathing slowed, in and out, in and out. Your heart followed the same gentle rhythm, steady, soft, unhurried. The night covered you like a blanket made of darkness and light together. You were not alone, but you were not crowded. This was the perfect balance. You stayed there by the lake, not counting minutes, not thinking about time, just being, just breathing, just letting the stars do their quiet work on your mind. And slowly, very slowly, your thoughts began to drift like clouds crossing the sky, not staying, not stopping, just passing. You didn't hold them. You didn't push them. You simply watched them go. The lake reflected everything and kept nothing, and without trying, you began to learn from the lake. You learned how to hold the sky without holding onto it. You learned how to reflect life without carrying its weight. You learned how to be full without being heavy. The night deepened. The stars multiplied, and your inner world became just as wide as the sky above you. Here, in this valley of night and stars, you were exactly where you needed to be. And this was only the beginning. The night did not stay the same. It never does. It grows deeper, softer, wider, as if the universe itself is stretching and making more room for you. You are still sitting by the lake, but the world around you felt larger now, not louder, not brighter, just more open. The stars seemed closer, not in distance, but in presence, as if they were leaning in, curious about you. You shifted slightly on the cool ground. The earth welcomed your movement without a sound. You rested your hands on your knees. Your shoulders loosened again, and your breathing fell into a natural rhythm. In and out, in and out. With every breath, you felt yourself becoming lighter, not floating away, but settling in more deeply. The lake in front of you was perfectly still, so still that it felt like a doorway instead of water. You leaned forward just a little, and the reflection of the stars seemed to open, not physically, but emotionally. Something inside you whispered, "Go closer." You stood up slowly, not because you had to, but because your body wanted to move. Your feet touched the ground softly as you walked toward the edge of the lake. The air felt cooler here, fresher, more alive. You stopped just where the land met the water, and you looked down. The surface of the lake held the entire sky. Every star, every glow, every secret light. You felt as if you were looking into another universe, a quieter one, a slower one, a kinder one, You knelt beside the water and gently reached out your hand. Your fingers hovered just above the surface. You could feel the cold rising up to meet your skin. Then you touched it. The water did not splash. It did not protest. It simply accepted you. A small ripple moved outward. One circle, then another, then another. The stars in the water began to move, not disappear, just dance, slowly, gracefully, and as the ripples spread, you felt something spread inside you too. A softness, a release, a letting go. You pulled your hand back and watched the water return to stillness. And when it did, your mind followed. The same calm, the same quiet, the same peace. You stood again and turned away from the lake, not because you were finished, but because you felt called somewhere else. To the right of the lake, a narrow trail appeared, not obvious, not marked, just visible enough to be followed. It curved gently into the darkness. You took one step toward it, then another, then another. The stars above guided you without trying. They did not point. They did not command. They simply existed. And that was enough. The path was soft under your feet, covered in short grass and quiet earth. Each step felt steady. Each movement felt safe. You were not afraid of the dark here. The darkness was not empty. It was full of rest. You walked for a while, not counting time, not measuring distance, just moving, just breathing, just being carried by the rhythm of the night. Soon the land began to rise again. Another hill, gentle and wide. You climbed it slowly, not because it was difficult, but because slow felt right. When you reached the top, you stopped, and your breath caught, not from effort, but from beauty. Before you stretched a vast sky, even bigger than before, even deeper. The stars were everywhere now, above you, around you, reflected faintly in the misty air. You felt small, not weak, but peaceful, small in the best way, small enough to rest inside something much greater. You sat down again, This time on the hilltop, your legs stretched out in front of you, your hands resting beside you, your face turned upward, and you simply looked. You didn't search for meaning. You didn't ask questions. You didn't try to understand. You allowed yourself to receive. The sky gave you its silence. The stars gave you their patience. The night gave you its calm. And your body responded by softening even more. Your jaw relaxed. Your eyes blinked slowly. Your breathing deepened without effort. You felt safe, not because someone told you so, but because your nervous system finally believed it. A gentle breeze passed over the hill. It touched your skin like a quiet hand, not cold, not warm, just right. You closed your eyes again and imagined the stars were breathing with you. In, they grew brighter. Out, they softened. In, they welcomed you. Out, they held you. Your thoughts became fewer now, not because you forced them away, but because they didn't feel necessary. The night was doing the thinking for you. The sky was carrying your worries. The stars were keeping watch. And you were allowed to rest deeply, fully, without guilt, without effort, without resistance. You stayed on that hill for a long time. Time itself seemed to stretch and dissolve. Moments flowed into each other, breath into breath, stillness into stillness, and somewhere inside you, a quiet smile formed, not on your lips, but in your chest. You were exactly where you were meant to be, under a sky that never rushes, in a night that never judges, with stars that never leave. And as your body sank deeper into rest, the story of your night journey was only beginning to unfold. The hilltop held you gently, not like a seat, but like a cradle. The earth beneath your body felt warm, as if it remembered every traveler who had ever rested there. You leaned back just a little, your palms pressed into the soft ground, your spine relaxed, your chest opened, and your face turned fully toward the sky. The stars above you were no longer distant lights. They felt like companions, quiet ones, patient ones, ones who had nothing to prove. You breathed in, and the night breathed with you. You breathed out, and the night followed. In and out, in and out. Your heartbeat slowed to match the rhythm of the dark. Steady, unhurried, kind. A thin veil of mist drifted across the hill. Not thick, not heavy, just enough to soften the world. It touched your skin like memory. Not sharp, not cold, but familiar. You watched it move across the stars. The light dimmed, then brightened again, like the sky was blinking, like the universe was breathing too. Your eyelids grew heavier, not because you were tired, but because you were safe. Your body finally understood it, didn't need to stay alert anymore. You let your eyes close for a few seconds, and in that darkness behind your eyelids, you saw light, not stars, not shapes, but a gentle glow, a calm space where nothing rushed, where nothing demanded, where nothing hurt. You stayed there, in that inner quiet, letting it grow, letting it fill you. When you opened your eyes again, the sky felt closer than ever. The stars looked softer now, less sharp, more welcoming, as if they were smiling at you without faces. You shifted your body and lay fully back on the hill. Your arms rested by your sides, your legs stretched out, your whole back touched the earth, and the earth held you. No pressure, no weight, just support. You felt yourself sink into it, not falling, but being received. Your breathing slowed even more. Longer in, longer out, in and out. The sounds of the night wrapped around you. Not loud, not sudden, just present. A distant breeze, a faraway bird, the soft movement of grass. Each sound arrived and then left. Nothing stayed too long. Nothing disturbed the stillness. You noticed your thoughts again, but they were different now. They didn't rush. They didn't argue. They didn't demand solutions. They floated like feathers, like clouds, like quiet boats on dark water. You didn't chase them. You didn't stop them. You simply allowed them to pass. And as they passed, you felt lighter, not in your body, but in your mind. The night sky seemed to open even wider, as if it noticed your calm and offered you more space. You felt your awareness stretch outward, not leaving your body, but expanding beyond it. You were still here, still breathing, still resting, but you were also part of something larger now. The hill, the lake, the valley, the sky, the stars, they were no longer separate from you. They were holding you inside them. You imagined your breath rising into the sky, not physically, but gently, each exhale becoming part of the night, each inhale bringing the stars into your chest. In, light and calm. Out, tension and weight. In, space and stillness. Out, old worries and noise. Your face softened even more. Your mouth rested slightly open. Your jaw heavy. Your forehead smooth. Your eyes warm behind their closed lids. You were not trying to sleep, but sleep was beginning to notice you. The kind of sleep that doesn't force itself. The kind that arrives like a soft friend. You felt a gentle drifting sensation. Not spinning, not falling, just floating, like your body was still, but your awareness was moving slowly through calm water. You didn't resist it. You didn't follow it. You allowed it. You were being carried now by the rhythm of the night, by the patience of the stars, by the quiet strength of the earth, and somewhere inside you, a deep trust was forming. Trust in this moment. Trust in this stillness. Trust in the fact that nothing needed to happen right now. Nothing needed fixing. Nothing needed proving. Nothing needed effort. You were already enough. Just lying there. Just breathing. Just existing. The sky above you shimmered faintly, not with movement, but with life, and you felt part of that life, not separate, not small, not lost, but included, held, accepted. The night wrapped you closer, like a story that was being told without words, a story about rest, about return, about remembering how to be still. And as your body sank deeper into calm, your mind followed, slowly, softly, willingly, the journey through the night and stars was continuing. But now it was moving inward. The stillness grew deeper, not heavier, just quieter, the kind of quiet that doesn't feel empty, but full. You were lying on the hill, beneath the wide sky, breathing slowly, and something inside you had begun to settle into its true rhythm, not the rhythm of clocks, not the rhythm of tasks, but the rhythm of being. Your body felt warm now, not from heat, but from safety. Your muscles no longer held themselves up. They had let go. Your legs rested into the earth. Your arms lay heavy by your sides. Your shoulders melted downward. Your chest rose and fell gently, in and out, in and out. Each breath moved like a slow wave across your body, from your belly to your ribs to your chest and back again. You noticed your heartbeat, not loud, not fast, just steady, like a quiet drum far away. You listened to it without judgment, without needing it to change. And the more you listened, the calmer it became. The night air wrapped around you. It felt thick with calm, like the world itself had paused. The stars above you shimmered faintly, not with motion, but with presence. They were watching, not in a way that judged, but in a way that protected. You imagined each star as a small, gentle guardian, not sharp, not strict, just aware, each one holding a piece of the silence, each one keeping the night safe. You felt safe too, in your body, in your breath. In this moment, your thoughts became fewer, not because you pushed them away, but because they didn't have a reason to stay. They came and went like leaves floating down a slow river. You didn't reach for them. You didn't follow them. You let them drift out of sight. Your mind was becoming like the lake below the hill, still, reflective, open. You could feel the boundary between your body and the earth growing softer, not disappearing, but blending, your back pressed into the ground, and the ground pressed back. Gently, you were being held completely, without effort, without condition. You noticed a faint warmth in the center of your chest, not physical heat, but emotional, like comfort, like peace, like quiet joy. You breathed into that space, and it expanded. In, warmth grows. Out, tension fades. In, soft light spreads. Out, old weight leaves. Your face softened even more. Your eyebrows relaxed. Your lips parted slightly. Your eyes rested in their sockets. Everything about you said, "It's okay now." The sky seemed to respond. The stars looked even gentler. The darkness felt even kinder. You were no longer just under the night. You were inside it, and it was inside you. You felt time stretch, not longer, but wider, as if there was more room inside each second. You weren't moving through time. Time was moving around you, slowly, softly. You were resting at the center of it, like the calm eye of a storm that never formed. Your awareness drifted again, not away from your body, but through it. You felt your feet, heavy, warm, relaxed. You felt your legs, loose, still, at ease. You felt your hands, open, resting, unholding. You felt your shoulders, dropped, free, quiet. You felt your neck, long, supported, safe. You felt your face, soft, neutral, at peace. Your whole body had entered the same agreement, an agreement to rest, an agreement to trust, an agreement to let the night take care of everything else. You did not need to watch anymore. The stars were watching for you. You did not need to think anymore. The silence was thinking for you. You did not need to hold yourself together anymore. The earth was holding you. You stayed like that, breathing, sinking, letting go. The story of the night was continuing, but now it was becoming your story too, not written in words, but in calm, in softness, in deep, quiet rest. The night had grown even deeper now, not darker, but softer, like a blanket layered gently over your awareness. You were no longer just lying on the hill. You were resting inside the night itself. Your breathing had become slow and natural, so slow you barely noticed it, so gentle it felt like the night was breathing you in and out, in and out. Each breath carried you farther from the noise of the day, farther from effort, farther from needing to be anything. Your mind was quiet now, not blank, but peaceful, like a wide field after rain, open, fresh, still. Thoughts tried to form, but they softened before becoming words. They faded into feeling, and feeling faded into rest. You felt the night move around you, not with wind, not with sound, but with presence, like something ancient and kind had come to sit beside you, not to talk, not to guide, just to be with you. You sensed that you were not alone, and yet you were completely free, free from roles, free from expectations, free from the weight of yesterday, free from the shape of tomorrow. You were only here, only now, only breathing. You felt a soft glow again in your chest, that quiet warmth, that peaceful center. It spread slowly through your ribs, into your shoulders, down your arms, into your hands, through your belly, into your legs, into your feet. Your whole body felt filled with calm, not floating, not heavy, just perfectly settled, like everything had found its place. You imagined the stars leaning closer, not in distance, but in connection. They felt like old friends, not from this life, but from somewhere deeper, somewhere timeless. They had watched over many nights, many sleepers, many dreamers, and now they were watching over you. You trusted them without needing to understand why. The earth beneath you felt solid and gentle, strong and kind. It held your weight without effort, without complaint, without movement. You did not have to hold yourself anymore. You did not have to keep watch. You did not have to stay alert. The night had taken over, and it was good at its job. Your awareness drifted inward again, not into thought, but into sensation, into quiet, into stillness. You felt like you were sinking into a warm, dark ocean, not falling, not drowning, just being carried, supported from every side, protected by the dark, comforted by the light of distant stars. You felt your eyelids grow heavier, not with tiredness, but with peace. Your body was already asleep. Your mind was following slowly, gently, like a child walking into a soft dream. You did not resist. You did not hurry. You simply allowed. You noticed the space between your breaths growing longer, wider, more open. In, pause, out, pause, in, pause, out, pause. In those pauses, there was no thinking, no planning, no remembering, only being. You rested inside those spaces. They felt endless, safe, perfect. The night wrapped you more fully now, not tightly, but completely. You were surrounded by calm. Above you, below you, around you, inside you, your sense of self softened, not disappearing, but loosening. You were no longer just a body on a hill. You were awareness resting in a universe of peace. You felt gratitude again, not sharp, not emotional, but deep, for the stars, for the night, for this moment where nothing was required of you. You had done enough. You were enough. And now you were allowed to rest fully, completely, without effort, without guilt. Your mind drifted closer to sleep, not crossing yet, but hovering at the edge, where dreams begin to form, where images are soft, where meaning is felt instead of thought. You floated there, between waking and dreaming, between stars and silence, between breath and stillness, and the night stayed with you, patient, kind, endless. The night was complete now. not just around you, but within you. You were no longer lying beneath the stars. You were resting inside their quiet light. Your breathing had become a soft rhythm, so gentle it felt like the universe was breathing through you. In and out, in and out. Each breath carried you deeper into stillness, not downward, not upward, but inward, into a place where nothing needed words. Your body was fully at rest now, heavy in the most peaceful way, warm, still, as if the earth and the sky had agreed to hold you together. Your mind had stopped reaching, stopped searching, stopped asking. It was no longer trying to understand the night. It was becoming the night. Thoughts dissolved before they could take shape. Feelings softened into quiet awareness. Awareness melted into calm, and calm became everything. You felt the stars again, not as distant lights, but as gentle presence. They were not watching you. They were with you, sharing the same silence, the same endless now. Time had disappeared. There was no before. There was no after. Only this soft, eternal moment of rest. Your heart continued its steady rhythm, like a quiet drum in a faraway temple, not calling, not warning, just keeping you safe. Your breath grew even slower, almost invisible, like mist rising and fading in the dark. You no longer noticed your body, not because it was gone, but because it had become perfectly comfortable. Nothing pulled at you, nothing pushed you, nothing asked for your attention. You were free to sleep, completely, peacefully, without any need to return yet. The night held you like a cradle made of stars, rocking you without movement, singing to you without sound. Your awareness drifted like a feather, light, unattached, safe. You felt yourself crossing the final line, not between awake and asleep, but between being and dreaming, where you no longer had to do anything at all. Your mind let go, your body let go, your sense of self let go, and in that letting go, you became still, so calm, so peaceful, that even the idea of you softened into rest. The stars remained awake. The sky remained wide. The night remained gentle. And you slipped fully into sleep, not alone, not afraid, but held by the endless universe, cradled by darkness, watched over by starlight. You rested deeply, quietly, completely, and the night stayed with you until morning.